In just 7 seconds, the Dallas Mavericks went from a team on the brink of a dynasty
dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer, bang!
to a franchise in complete shambles. Imagine this. You've got everything in place. A generational superstar, a championship-caliber squad, the blueprint for years of dominance. And then, in the blink of an eye, it all comes crashing down. That's exactly what happened to the Dallas Mavericks. One moment, they were fresh off an NBA Finals run, with Luka Dončić leading the charge. The next, they made one of the most baffling, franchise-altering trades in NBA history. Luka Dončić, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, gone, shipped off to the Lakers. In return, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, a 2029 first-round pick. Just like that, the Mavericks hit the self-destruct button. A team that was built to win now suddenly found itself spiraling into uncertainty. So, how did it all go so wrong so fast? Let's break it down. When the news broke, fans couldn't believe it. The Dallas Mavericks had just traded away Luka Dončić, one of the most gifted offensive players the game has ever seen, a top 5 talent, a generational superstar. And in return, Anthony Davis, who, while still elite, has battled injuries for years. Max Christie, a young player with potential but nowhere near proven, and just one future first-round pick. That was it. No mountain of draft picks, no young franchise centerpiece, just a deal that felt like a panic move of historic proportions. When a trade this shocking goes down, there has to be a reason, some kind of logic, some hidden strategy. But with the Mavericks sending away Luka Dončić for an aging Anthony Davis, an unproven young player, and a single first-round pick, fans and analysts were left scrambling for answers. And the speculation, it came in fast. One of the biggest? The NBA was behind it. The league had been struggling with stale rivalries, and suddenly, this trade ignited a fire. Luka versus Dallas, a villain arc in the making, a perfect ratings boost. But some people thought this move had nothing to do with basketball at all. Miriam Adelson, the Mavs' new majority owner, had been pushing for gambling legalization in Texas. And what better way to make a statement than by showing exactly what happens when a city loses its biggest star? Was this a chess move to pressure lawmakers into action? And then there was the most personal idea of them all. Luka wanted out. He never demanded a trade publicly, but the frustration was written all over his face last season. The lack of help, the playoff collapses, the weight of an entire franchise on his back. Maybe Dallas didn't betray him. Maybe they were just left with no choice. If you're liking the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The results have been nothing short of a disaster. The Mavericks went from legitimate title contenders with Luka at the helm to an absolute train wreck. And it didn't take long. One blockbuster trade, a few injuries, and suddenly their season was in free fall. Let's start with the obvious. Anthony Davis. Everyone knew his injury history, but Dallas still took the gamble. And surprise, he didn't even last long before going down again. With him out, the team lost its defensive anchor, and the already thin depth got exposed. PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Caleb Martin, key role players, have been in and out of the lineup, leaving the Mavs scrambling to fill the gaps. And then there's Kyrie Irving. Now forced into the role of the lone star, he's struggled to carry the load. Without Luka drawing double teams, defenses have smothered him, and the Mavericks' offense has turned into a slow, predictable mess. The chemistry, completely shattered. The defense, non-existent. At one point, they dropped 10 straight games, effectively killing their playoff hopes before the All-Star break. Mavericks fans have officially snapped. Staging a literal funeral for Luka Dončić outside the arena was just the start. The breaking point came during a game against the Sacramento Kings when a group of furious fans started chanting, "Fire Nico!" directly calling for the head of GM Nico Harrison. The response? Security didn't just shut it down. They started yanking people out of their seats and tossing them from the arena. But here's where it gets crazier. One fan, Chris, who's become the unexpected leader of this protest movement, shared his side of the story. According to him, the team has been actively working to suppress any form of criticism. When fans tried to start a chant during a free throw, none other than Mark Cuban himself allegedly turned around and snapped, "Sit the F down." Moments later, security and Dallas PD were swarming Chris, escorting him out as if he had just committed a crime. A franchise in crisis mode, that might be an understatement. It's not just in the arena. The chaos has spilled over onto social media. Mavericks fans have launched full-scale boycotts, trending hashtags like #FreeDallas and #FireNico, while flooding ownership with demands for change. And it's working. Home attendance has plummeted, season ticket holders are demanding refunds, and the team's public image has taken a brutal hit. Mavericks governor Patrick Dumont tried to do some damage control, reassuring fans that the team isn't relocating. But at this point, that's the least of anyone's concerns. The damage has already been done. When a fan base turns against its own team this hard, it's not just about losing games, it's about losing trust. And once that's gone, it's nearly impossible to get back. Mark Cuban tried to brush it off, saying fans weren't actually booing Chris, but were just frustrated with the team. Nice try, but the video tells a different story. The chants were real, and the anger was loud. Mavs fans weren't just upset, they were furious. And Cuban's attempt to spin the narrative, that only made things worse. It's one thing to be bad, but it's another to insult your fan base's intelligence while doing it. Then came the bombshell. Luka Dončić had reportedly been shot. But here's where things get even more ridiculous. The Mavericks only considered two teams, the Lakers and the Bucks. Milwaukee shut it down instantly because they weren't parting ways with Giannis. But the bigger issue? Dallas never even explored all 29 possible trade partners. If you're going to move a generational talent like Luka, wouldn't you want the best possible return? Instead, the Mavericks acted like they were running a clearance sale, not a franchise-altering trade. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, reports surfaced that this entire move wasn't even the front office's decision. It was the new ownership forcing their hand, disregarding the basketball minds in the organization. So now, the Mavs weren't just making bad moves, they were making them for all the wrong reasons. Business interests over basketball decisions? That's how you destroy your team in 7 seconds. The aftermath of this trade isn't just about Luka leaving, it's a ticking time bomb for the Mavericks. Kyrie Irving, the team's current star, has the option to walk away in 2026, and if Dallas keeps heading down this rocky path, there's a real chance he bolts too, forcing the team into a full-blown rebuild. Fans can already see the writing on the wall, and the dread is setting in. Meanwhile, Luka Dončić is living his best life in Los Angeles. Lakers fans have welcomed him with open arms, and he's already building something special with LeBron James, who, by the way, looks like he's found the fountain of youth next to his new superstar teammate. Over in Dallas, nothing but heartbreak. This feels eerily similar to when the Lakers landed Pau Gasol in 2008. Only this time, the team losing their franchise player is feeling the sting even worse. Now, the Mavericks are staring at a grim reality. Their draft assets? Limited. Their roster? A mess. Their leadership? Under fire. Unless the front office makes some massive changes, this franchise could be stuck in basketball purgatory for years to come. The Dallas Mavericks have put on a masterclass in how not to run an NBA franchise. From a head-scratching trade to completely ignoring fan outrage, they've fumbled every step of the way. But what do you think? Was this trade the worst front office move in recent NBA history? Or is there more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the NBA's biggest storylines. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps the content coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.